Right guys, I've just had a friggin' heart attack. Our first maze of Fright Nights 2023.
I can't hear you! The music is
Remember when you... It's been a year since I've been at this park, and that's a year too long. Welcome back to another Thorpe Park vlog. I am so happy to be here, genuinely. Honestly, this park brings a beacon of positivity to my mind when I'm here. Literally, honestly, I'm not being sarcastic, I promise. I genuinely love this place. That's why I make so many videos about it, and my last 5 videos are about it. You know, I know I've said some mixed things about it when I've not been here, but genuinely when I'm here, I could not be happier.
Benjamin always brings the sun with him as well.
Yeah, I do. Don't jinx anything, but on my visit so far when I've been here, it's been sunny. But yeah, we're here for Fright Nights today. It's Fright Nights. I do have a bit of bad news about Fright Nights, but I don't want to start this vlog off on a negative at a park I like so much. So I think I'll say we'll have a discussion about Fright Nights later, closer to 3 o'clock. But obviously we're going to be doing rides and stuff before then. But we've also got Hyperia Construction. It has gone vertical this week, and I'm so excited to get round to Old Town soon and see that in person. You know, regardless of the stuff I'm going to get into later, we're hopefully going to have an absolutely brilliant day, as I've had here the past 2 times I've been, and we're going to take you along for the journey. So without further ado, let's get to our first ride. I've just been on my least favourite ride on park, guys, Colossus. Last year, I obviously went on it for my first time front row, and it was alright. Then I went on it at Fright Nights a bit later in the year, and I hated it because it was on the back of a car. I was on row 4. That was my 3rd ever ride on it, row 9. The row 4 one was really rough, by the way, that's why I hated it. The one I just had then, it was smooth, but I've come to the conclusion that ride just does not do much for me. Obviously, it was the first 10 inversion coaster in the UK and the world, and it's special for that, but there's no force to that ride whatsoever. It's just a load of inversions. And you got like 5 of the same thing in the row. Don't get me wrong, those heartline rolls are pretty good, but like, yeah, there was obviously like, it was a little bit rattly as Colossus is, but it wasn't like head banging. It wasn't anything spectacular, nothing to write home about. Honestly, I prefer Nemesis to that, and you know me, I'm a big Nemesis hater. I prefer a lot of things to it, but yeah, it doesn't rank that highly in terms of the UK coasters. It ranked, if that was at Towers, it'd be quite a good ride. But the thing is, Thorpe has a lot of the, like, you know, best UK coasters. Oh my word, guys, Hyperia, the new, the 2022 coaster. Look at this, Thorpe Park 2024, UK's fastest roller coaster. There's construction fences, and there's Samurai over there being very noisy. Honestly, I'm so excited for this ride. You know, this is the only time, possibly in our lives, we're going to be able to stand here now and watch what is going to be the UK's tallest roller coaster under construction. Like, we don't know. We don't know if this record's going to get beaten again. Like, you never know. So to see this now is a great privilege. Like, it took 30 years before, so you just never know with these things. And yeah, like, it's the only time I'm going to get to see this particular ride in the middle of its, you know, erection process, because next time I'm here, it's going to be open to the public most likely. Right guys, this is the Hyperia logo. I'm just going to wait for Josh to finish filming, and then I'm going to show you a bit through this hole, because they are starting work today. And this is a hole in the fence that was used, it's probably used by Jack to get to the construction site, to be honest, to do his updates. But last year we walked through there and we went over there to do Creek Massacre, an incredible scare maze, and the best scare maze I've done out of the 3 I've done so far. But there's some digging going on here. They're doing some work today, digging a hole. I don't know what it's for, but probably for the station, like, or something like that, or transport. Could be anything. But yeah, honestly, I just like, while I'm here and talking about Jack and stuff, I'd like to say, you know, Thorpe Park, you've done a really good job at just like getting documentation for this how you have, because honestly, for Jack to be able to do something like this and go on the site and stuff, videos has been posting of all the supports going in and the track and stuff, getting up so close on the site itself is incredible, and I've never known a park be so like open with like an influencer letting them do that. And obviously Jack works really hard. But yeah, what I do have a problem with Thorpe Park is your pass holder Facebook group. I live 4 hours away, so I'm not a pass holder, but my issue is that I'm not sure where you're posting this stuff. You might have a dedicated website or something. I keep seeing these pictures pop up from Jack that obviously he's sending over, which is fine, but I'm not seeing them from you on your social media accounts. So whether you're putting them on the pass holder Facebook group or not, I'm really not sure. But if so, I really think you should stop doing that. I think the pass holder Facebook is great, you know, it's great for certain purposes, but I think for something as significant as this, you should be documenting it for everyone to be able to see on your social media accounts personally. This is the Crows of Mawkin Meadow. This arrived at the park in 2021 following the introduction of the Crows roaming characters in 2020. The Crows are silent characters that are non-verbal, and they go like this. And that's all they do, and they jump out at you. The problem was last year was that it was a multi-route scare zone, so the Saw queue line, or the Saw Alive queue line, sorry, was obviously down there somewhere, and you went through there. You could either go through there or go down the main path, because it's on the path here between Saw over that way and Samurai, and the start of Lost City, and obviously Colossus is over the trees there. Joshua, could you please stop squirting me in water? But the problem was there was not enough actors, and it was just too open, and the actors couldn't get to everybody. However, for this year, they made it more like a scare maze, and they made it a lot more tighter, and they've completely basically redone the layout. The Saw Alive queue line's gone, and they've redone the layout to be, you know, it's got more twists and turns and stuff rather than just following the path. And it's got some indoor sections as well, I believe, so I do have hope that this could be good this year. Well guys, some Thorpe Park magic has just happened. Obviously I said before that I had a bit of bad news about Fright Nights. That news was that the mazes had sold out. It was a bit of a last minute trip this, guys, wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
It was like how would you say it? Like, we had the date in mind, but like, you can't like just confirm it straight away like 4 weeks in ahead.
We have busy lives. Yeah.
So, you know, when you've got places to be and people to see and all sorts.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you can't always get confirmed like 5 weeks.
Yeah. Obviously we live 4 hours away, so there's hotels to sort out and stuff like that, and like we can't just nip here. Like, you know, it's a 2-day job, so these guys are on park for 2 days, but I can only do 1 day, that being a Saturday, and I have to leave at 6 because I'm doing the 4-hour drive home tonight. Well, I'm not doing it, but other people are. So obviously I can only do the mazes between 3 PM and 6 PM, but obviously we were so last minute booking it, unfortunately, that they sold out. And with these time slots, it's only a 1 hour time slot. You can't go after that hour because that's the way they've arranged it. So yeah, I was a bit gutted this week because tickets were just disappearing. Originally Emily was also meant to be coming today as well, so we also had that to communicate, so that delayed us even more getting it sorted, only for us then to find out that she couldn't come. So it's a lot of coordination for us to, well, first of all book the trip and get it confirmed, and then second of all make sure we book the mazes for the same time. Last year we booked them on the day that we didn't have trouble, but this year like we seem to have had trouble, and I feel like it's busier on park today than it was when we came last year, and I put that down to Fright Nights being a bit shorter. So I'm going to go through sort of my issues with the current Thorpe Park ticket system. But the first of those is that I think Fright Nights is too short this year. Get rid of your Oktoberfest event. Put that effort and money into Fright Nights and time instead of having an event that's just, it's pointless. People can drink at home. I don't care. Now, obviously last week I did try to book the Terrifying Trio, because with that you can just book it between a certain time and then you can do it at the mazes any time. So like, if that was the case, like, I would have just booked them, because we kind of knew that once this was confirmed we were going to do the mazes anyway, and like there's still tickets valid for today, but they're after 6. So Thorpe, like, this is my issue, like for people me who have to leave early, if you're doing these time slots and the tickets only being valid for then, it reduces the number of tickets that can be purchased, essentially, that we have access to. And that essentially means that there's less chance of us getting tickets. So if you just did the tickets 3 till 9, it would help, you know, mitigate some of that issue, because I need the caravan with me in mazes. So if I was to book a ticket at 3, say, for a maze, and they were to then sell out, and Josh or Danielle couldn't, at least one of them couldn't book one, I wouldn't be able to do the maze because I need a carer. I couldn't buy a terrifying trio, I couldn't buy one-shots for the 3 mazes, those being trailer sticks and survival games, but the lovely theme park Daisy, shout out to you Daisy, is staying at the Thorpe Park Hotel, and she has a Fright Nights pass which allows you access to all mazes at Fright Nights for a cost of £99. So she's obviously doing the maze every day and doesn't need those vouchers. So she's kindly, we just met up with her now, she's on park today, and she's given these 2 terrifying trio vouchers that she's got, valid from 3 till 9. So me and one of these guys, Josh or Danielle, can do the mazes before I have to leave. As I said, there's still tickets available for past 6 o'clock and for tomorrow. So those who don't get to do certain mazes, our Josh and Danielle will be able to do them again. And I'd also like to shout out a couple of people from the Thorpe Park social media team as well, who obviously, I contacted them on Twitter, I tweeted them out, put it on screen now, just explaining all my issues with this system that I've kind of gone into now a little bit. And also the fact that, you know, could they possibly, is there any possibility of us getting tickets? And they basically said that, you know, we have to cap the tickets, you know, which is fair enough. You know, we have to cap the tickets, and we use the times to try and control the queues, because, I mean, the mazes do tend to get busier later on, to be fair, so they're selling so many tickets per time to try and control the queues as much as possible so that the mazes don't suddenly get really busy later. So yeah, massive shout out to Holly and Tony from the Thorpe Park social media team who responded to me. But you know, they did say that obviously they take my feedback on board and stuff, and look into possibly, you know, maybe adapting it for next year a bit, you know, based off what I've said, because, you know, my issues are that, you know, some people might not know they want to do mazes until, you know, they try out a zone or something. They might be really nervous, and until they've encountered the live actor, they might not know if this is their sort of thing. So if the tickets have sold out before the actual park day, which I think they sold out like Thursday, the 3 to 6 tickets for today, like, they'd be gutted if they try out a scare zone and then they figure out they want to do a maze today and then they can't because the tickets have sold out. So it's a shame, really. So I don't think it's very fair on them, the system. And I said as well, you know, to the team, and like, I understand, like, they're doing it to the guest experience, capping the tickets and whatnot, so they don't get stupid queues. But like, you don't just close a queue line if, like, say Saw gets a 3-hour queue. You wouldn't just close the queue line, would you? Because, you know, back in the day, Thorpe Park did used to have the scare mazes not charged, and you could just do them as many times as you want. And they would get 3 hours in queues and stuff, and people wait for them. And I think that's why, you know, they've introduced these tickets to try and reduce the number of people doing the mazes. But, you know, people are prepared to wait 3 hours, then I kind of don't see the point to cap the tickets and stuff, or just sell more of them. But then, like, I also do it at the same time. So I know it's been a bit all over the place, this little discussion, but those are just my opinions. Once again, thank you so much, Daisy. It's really made my day, this, being able to now do the mazes. And obviously thank you to Holly and Tony once again from Thorpe Park social media team. They obviously said basically there's nothing they can do about it, but hopefully, like, it does sound like, you know, Thorpe tend to be really good at listening to feedback. So yeah, honestly, thank you for you guys for reading, like, all my comments and, like, you know, taking them on board. Oh, it's like deja vu, guys. We're going on Black Mirror Labyrinth. Because why not? Honestly, this is to get us in the mood for the scare maze action later, as there's a few jump scares in there. No actors, but yeah, I quite enjoyed this last time. Like, it isn't amazing, but it's a good attraction for them to have for a little while. With the reviews Ghost Train's been getting this year, I reckon it will outlive it, to be honest. Nemesis Inferno is currently experiencing a technical delay, closed telling you now, if this spikes me today like the Swarm did last year, I've officially fallen out with the B&Ms at Thorpe Park. And like, this is like a contender for my favourite ride here. I think Stealth is my favourite, but this is a close second, very close second. Why is the fences here? Stealth!
We don't seem to be able to hear a thing.
There we go. Yeah, we're here to see the Creature Campus show set up. And we're going to go on Stealth, but yeah, it's got all these steps here, which is very weird. I'm not sure what I think of that, but yeah, there's all these barriers here, and they need to go. I want to be up closer than that. There's your Creature Campus sign, so we've got, what's that? The day rating's 2 out of 5 things. And the night rating's 3 out of 5, which I'm not happy about, because it should be the same rating all day long and not be different for people after leave at 6 o'clock. And this is a Century rating, so those are scared. Century rating 3 at night and 2 in the day. So we just got off Stealth, and that's still an absolutely incredible ride. What I'm not a fan of though is they've changed the announcement slightly for the launch. So before, it used to go place your heads back, face forward, and then pause before going 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. But now it doesn't do that, so the announcement's not timed properly to the launch. So the ride now launches about 3 or 4 seconds after the announcement finishes. And like, I don't know, I preferred that when it was timed properly to when it went go, go, go and it would launch. But it doesn't change the ride experience at all. What an incredible ride. A lot better than Rita at Alton Towers with that launch and stuff. It feels similar, the launch to Rita at first, but once you got to the end of it, you really feel the difference in the speed. And then that top hat, we're on back road, you get some really good air time down that, and going into the brake run as well. Okay guys, we've just had lunch, which means it's time for the first time in quite a while, FastFoodNet. Hello and welcome back to FastFoodNet, bringing you everything fast food related in the UK and beyond via the internet. And today, because we are at Thorpe Park, where do we always eat at Thorpe Park? You long-time viewers will know that is KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I had a beautiful chicken breast fillet burger with some very interesting fries, as apparently KFC have updated the fries in the past week, and from tasting them I can definitely say that they weren't the fries I remember having before. They did have a nice kind of like a weird kind of salty flavour to them, a bit salty. And I'll tell you, I'd probably give that about an 8 out of 10 to be honest. Like, they weren't the best fries either, but they were perfectly edible. But you know, they were alright. Danielle, what did you have?
Oh, I had a fillet burger as well with a Sprite drink. And this is my personal opinion. Like, I accept Ben's opinion on the chips, but I'm not a big fan of the chips altogether. Like, I'd just rather stick to the old chips and then add some salt to it. Like, add some normal salt instead of like the whatever salt they've added to it. Because it's not.
What was your problem?
I don't know, it just tastes not great.
Very good description.
I
don't know what you're on about. There's nothing wrong with them for me. What do you mean?
I don't know how to describe it, but it just had that weird taste.
A weird taste?
Yeah.
She says they were spicy, they weren't,
no,
guys.
Like, after a while, like, my tongue ended up getting, like, quite hot. Like,
right.
after, like, half of the chips. So, I mean, the rest of it was nice though, so I would give it a 6.
Hey. I think it was better than 6. Hey, Josh, what did you have?
Like, minus, like, below 5, isn't it? I had a fillet burger with chicken breast and chips, the new chips. I think the KFC chips are now. It's like, it's got a nice seasoning.
Yeah, that's what it is, seasoning.
So, yeah. Quite nice. I'll give it an 8 as well.
Here we have the Lucifer's Lair sign, which I'm not going to be doing today because I'm not too bothered. Like, all the good stuff doesn't start till night. But there you go, Sentry rating, scare rating in the day is 3 out of 5, so 1 up on Amity, and at night it's obviously the same. Then Sentry rating, 3 out of 5 in the day, 4 out of 5 at night, because there is fire and stuff at night. And there you go, all age restrictions. I don't know a lot about this zone, but yeah, there you go. Right guys, I've just had a friggin' heart attack, right? This Exodus model here, or Hyperia should I say, is absolutely beautiful. We've just come in the shop, there's the QR code for our updates and stuff by the way, zoom into that. It's just attacked me with the toy chainsaw and tried to slice my face. But yeah, he pranked me and said that this model had disappeared. But like, no, it's right here, Hyperia model. I wanted to come in here and see this. I assume that blue bit's like the lake that they're going to have that it goes over, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, honestly, this looks incredible, seeing this in person. Zoom out. Look at that. Look what we're going on, guys, the Swarm. And this is the first time I've heard this soundtrack in person, because it wasn't on when I was here at Fright Nights, and the first time I came it spited me, so we were on this bit of land for about 1 minute and we had loads of like, the ride has temporarily stopped announcements. This is the old soundtrack as well, they changed it a couple of years ago and they've recently changed it back. Honestly, this is so atmospheric on here. This is so atmospheric on here, what the hell. Alton Towers couldn't do anything on this.
1 eternity later.
Thorpe Park, what the hell has gotten into you recently? We joined the Swarm queue about 2:15. It's now just after 3 o'clock and we just got out of it. You know how long we've been in there? Because Danielle timed it, 51.5 minutes. Honestly, it's an absolute laughing stock. The staff on that ride, absolute joke. Thankfully, they did a bit of a staff changeover and the queue seemed to clear up after that. But honestly, operations shambolic. Trains going out every 2 minutes. I think staff were messing around and stuff on there. Honestly, it's ridiculous. This queue is meant to be a virtual queuing system, you know, and a lot of people use these queues, you know, people struggle queuing, whatnot. Honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous. Whoever the staff are on there, me and you need to have a conversation, because this isn't on. Generally speaking, this park is a very nice place, but that was horrific. Honestly, I've had a worse experience than that at Towers, and Towers is generally bad for rat queues, but this park is genuinely okay. But that was completely unacceptable. I'm sorry, but it's really annoying. It's put a downer on what was a good day so far. Thorpe Park, I don't know if any of you are watching this, whoever was operating the Swarm on Saturday the 14th of October, just past 2 o'clock, you need to go and have a conversation with them, because this needs sorting out. And you know what this 51.5 minute rap queues meant? We'd missed the first Creature Campus show at 3 o'clock that we were going to go and watch for going on that ride. I should not be joining a rap queue at 2:15 and missing a Creature Campus show taking place at 3 o'clock. I was expecting to maybe get off there, you know. The maximum a rap queue should be half an hour in my eyes. That's even pushing it. 20 minutes, half an hour. There should be no more than that you're waiting in the queue like that. Like, we should have been off there by 2:45 and walking up to the Amity show. Creature Campus Troubles Brewing. Our first maze of Fright Nights 2023 is going to be Stitches. It's just past 3 now. Hopefully this cheers me up after a bad experience on the Swarm. New for 2023. Looking forward to it. It looks interesting. Wasn't a big fan of how it looked at first, but after looking into it a bit more, it does look like quite an interesting concept, this. Oh dear, dear. We've just come out of Stitches, and as you can tell, I'm not shaken up whatsoever. That was poor, I'm sorry, and I'm not even on about the creative team here. It's not like that maze, it's a well-designed maze, there's loads of tight spaces, there's nice flashing lights and stuff. So obviously where credit's due to the creative team behind that, because it is a very visually pleasing maze, but I think it is a bit too dark in there. I know, like, the point of the maze, like, Josh better cover his ears here. The point of the maze is all to do with the lighting. That's the whole theme, because she says at the start, the pre-show actress, who was absolutely brilliant, by the way, that I'm not criticising her by. The actors who were in there were very good actors. But the pre-show actress, like, the whole idea is she turns off the lights and then I think some stuff moves and stuff, and then the whole point is, you know, don't turn off the lights. But we went in there, there were periods, like, we were in there for about 10 minutes probably, like, it's quite a long attraction. And there was periods where like 2 minutes we'd go without any actors. There was probably about 5 actors in there across the entire 10 minutes. We strolled out of that maze. Like I'm usually I'm at least, you know, jogging a little bit out of the maze. We strolled out of there, didn't we, Danielle? We were literally like, oh yeah.
It was literally one.
There was no finale. Like the finale is Josh, cover your ears. The finale is basically yeah. Well, I mean, you know, they were good. They were getting up close and stuff.
But like, I'd rather get chased out of the maze.
Pre-show actress, brilliant, credit to her. She did her role brilliantly. But like, yeah, and then the other actors in there, we got followed by, I think, you know, a female actor at one point. That was the first actor we encountered, and that were about 2 minutes into the walkthrough bit. She were good. I think like she like kind of brushed my shoulder a bit and stuff.
She kind of got like into my shoulder and back.
Yeah.
So it's not her fault. It is quite dark in
No.
there, so.
But you know, she was good. Yeah, it's just, you know, it suffers from a lack of actors, that did. Like, they've not, you need to put proper staff in there for. And also, yeah, with the darkness, like, me and Danielle didn't know where we were going half the time. We walked into a couple of backstage areas, didn't we?
Yeah, I walked into a wall at one point.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not impressed with that. I'd go as far as to say that's the weakest maze I've ever done. Out of trailers, Passage del Terror at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and Freak Massacre last year. That was really tame. I'd say, you know, you could have took an 8 or 10-year-old in that and they would have been absolutely fine. It wasn't great, that, I'm sorry, but that's my honest thoughts. Clearly your ticketing strategy hasn't worked, Thorpe Park, because this is now the queue for trailers and it's moving, but this is shocking. This is the Passage del Terror of Thorpe Park, in that it's a variety maze. You obviously go through all these different trailers for movies, like made up movies, whereas like Passage is actually based on real horror movies. Apologies to the people in the queue for the spoilers. Like, I only just realised. Yeah, this is my first ever maze, so it has a lot of sentimental value to me, and hopefully it's as good as the run through we had it last year, because it, you know, it's all right. Trailers. That was interesting. That was. The group size was ridiculous. They sent about 20 people in there at once.
20?
I don't know how many it was, but it were a lot.
12, 14.
Yeah, that was a bit ridiculous, but what we did was we held back a bit, and that is proof that if you try and get yourself on your own in a scare maze and let the rest of the group go in front or whatever, you can get some good scares. I'm trying to give some shout outs here. The one actress in the Bozo's room, she got me and came running up. She did spit in my face a bit, but I don't mind, love. You did a very good job at scaring. And then also there was an actress at the end.
I think it's the same one that
Danny,
was in the pre-show.
Was it?
Okay, I think so, yeah.
Danielle absolutely legged it, because yeah, she was going, that was a bad impression, but yeah.
Right, no, she ended up doing a countdown, and then it was one of them with like the hammers, and
Yeah.
she just ended up. I just looked behind me, and then she was just there with the hammer up, just like, oh no!
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, really good again. So that was acceptable. That was. I mean, I'm still done. It was a lot better than Stitches, weren't it? Like a lot better. It was okay. That I've done better mazes, but I enjoyed it. I still stand by the fact that it's a good maze to do as your first ever maze. So well done, acting team. You did really good in there. And yeah, now on to, and I can't believe I'm saying this, survival games. It's going to be my first free flow maze. Like, we're going to get touched in there and stuff, and I'm dreading it. It's going to be interesting because obviously me being visually impaired, I need a care with me at all times, so I can't get split up. So the plan is to rock up to the rock queue with my cane and just like see what happens, see what they say. I think Josh doing this with me. Like, yeah, so Danielle did Stitches with me. We all three of us did trailers because Josh should get the ticket. We're now going to do survival, me and Josh. Alright, so I've just come out of survival games. I'm still shaking a little bit. I was nervous before we went in that. And the main worry was about getting splitting up from Josh, who I went in with. He was obviously visually impaired, but that wasn't an issue. With the bigger groups, they do put 2 people in a cage, so we had 2 of us in a cage, and then, so yeah, we both got, well, this is spoiler, so you go into a cage at the start of the maze, and you're in this game show, obviously, that you've got to survive, and then, yeah, the maze, the lights go out and you get grabbed from behind into the maze. And then yeah, it's pretty much just like there's a lot of black walls in there and stuff. It's not very well themed, but yeah, actors are grabbing in you and getting up to you, like shouting very loudly in your ears and stuff, or like yeah, just getting really close and sometimes pushing you a bit. But it wasn't that violent. I've heard some people say that at press night and stuff it's been quite violent this year. I wouldn't call it violent, but it was hands-on, and I wish more actors did that, to be honest, being like yeah, because it did add to the scare elements with them touching in there and stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed it, to be honest. And then at the end, when you survive, you go out there and then you get chased out by a chainsaw and there's an air cutting going off. And unlike last year, I didn't run straight out and push Josh into a wall like, you know, I did. You know, I didn't cause any injuries, and I kind of trotted out rather than like pushing people. Like last year in Creep Massacre. Definitely check out that vlog after this. But yeah, now we're going to be doing Amity and the Crows. I don't think I'm going to have time to do Death's Doors before I leave, but you know, we'll see. I did forget to mention also, guys, there was a crawl section in there. We had to crawl, and actor asked me and Josh to get on our knees and crawl like dogs and walk. So yeah, that was fun. Like, yeah, I enjoyed that. Like, I want more of that sort of stuff in mazes. Right guys, we're here now to watch the reimagined Amity and Lycan show with witches, and that is Creature Campus, Trouble's Brewing. Oh, there's an Amity. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, very different stage as I said before with the set. Still not a big fan of that, but hopefully the show is good. And it'll be starting in about 10 minutes time.
Being posed for the camera.
Oh, hello. There we go, we've got a Lycan posing for the camera. There we go.
Hello?
Oh,
We're all recording.
Who are we? Are we recording her?
My name's Ben.
My name's Stacy. Why are we recording? I don't get it.
There we go.
Can't wait for the show.
Yeah, we can't wait.
This show?
Yeah?
It's so good, guys. This is my
Oh.
You two are friends now.
Yeah, we're friends.
I remember when you didn't like each
I
other.
can't hear you because the music is so
Remember when you
loud.
remember when you didn't like each other?
No, we're best friends now.
That's good to know.
Glad.
We are. Don't worry about it. The only one I hate
The witch.
is Ned. No one likes Ned.
No.
No one likes Ned.
We love Amity. We appreciate
Hello.
you saving these guys.
Yeah.
Bring them around.
You're welcome.
Welcome all students back to Creature Campus, where uniqueness is celebrated, and we strive for a world where all creatures can study side by side in one community. I want to give a warm welcome to our freshman year who have joined us and get to know some of their faces on site. This is your time to become who you want to be, and at Creature Campus, we believe you can achieve your full potential. Attention all creatures, this is your freshest council speaking. Let's show the new students how we celebrate new beginnings, Creature Campus style.
That was incredible, guys. Creature Campus Troubles Brewing. There wasn't a technical failure like last time when I filmed this show. The audio didn't cut out or anything. Absolutely brilliant, that. As much as I'm not a fan of the steps, it was still brilliant. There we go.
Oh, that is stylish.
And they're still...
Oh, that's a good shot.
Oi. Oh my word, I'm not quite as emotional as last year, guys, but what can I say? Creature Campus, Troubles Brewing, like... But I'm sorry, guys, that I'm walking and talking. We are kind of trying to rush to Crows before I have to leave at 6.
I'm emotional again.
But, yeah, honestly, like...
I got a picture.
I did get a picture,
With
but
a
this
Lycan
time it was
style.
with a Lycan and it was in a group. Yeah, as for the show itself, it was absolutely exquisite. I don't like the steps, as I said before, and the actors danced on them and stuff. And it felt, I don't know, it felt less acrobatic than last year, in that respect. Oh, Death's Door, shame we're not going to have time to do that.
To scare you with that button.
I know.
I thought it was a doorbell and it ended up being an air.
But, oh my god! Yeah, honestly, like, adding the witches in, it adds like
It actually does.
quite a bit.
I didn't think there'd be like 10 of them.
And like,
Thought there'd be
yeah,
only
honestly, the
one.
roaming like beforehand as well. We saw a familiar face from last year, Clarissa. Shout out to you. She vlog bombed the vlog last year, guys, and a lot better than the person. We did speak to her and stuff this time, as you've seen before.
Oh, the interaction was...
The interaction was brilliant. Like, we had actors like coming up to us from behind or something. Just walking past the trailers to you guys, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And we had like amateur liking people. What's the word? Coming up to us as well.
I don't be liking these slow walkers go.
And yeah,
Fast one.
the show itself, very good. Lots of interesting songs. There was a song that said "Turn Me On" loads of times. David Guetta, there was the Weekend in there today with
Say
me.
that when it's crowded.
And also there were some familiar songs like "Off With Your Head Will Roll." That was in there. And it was the original remix of it rather than the one they've used in recent years. It was the original like, amateur song from the first ever show, so that was interesting. So it was nice, it was still paying homage to the show of old.
But yeah, Crows of Mawkin Meadow, this will be significantly better tonight.
Yeah, it will.
So Ben can do it, and obviously to compare. Should we go a long way around? Let's go a long way around. Let's go with the crowds for 5 seconds. What's in the crowds? Should we skip the queue?
Yeah.
Hopefully there's someone.
Hopefully. Oh my god!
It's so time.
I didn't notice
The
that.
beauty of the crows. You don't know where they are.
No. Nobody knows.
There we go.
Oh. Hello.
Third section.
Yeah.
An indoor bit with nobody in. Besides, I'm sure they sell that chair at some point. Oh yeah,
That's not good.
smell. Scare you down. Tell you
Yeah.
what, the sunset's gonna be nice.
Oh my god. I just tripped up.
Oh yeah, this is good. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
this at night.
This is a lot better than last year.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we have managed to get to the
With
front,
this
but still.
route changing as well, it prolongs the experience and it allows them to send one through at a time.
Yeah.
Hello? So, less waiting time, which is good. Good side. You good?
Ew.
Anyways. Brownies, Oh. Stop. We should come in groups like this.
Yeah, we should.
Stop everyone out.
This will be better at night, but don't get me wrong, it's better than last year. And it's not meant to be the most like
meant to be fun.
intense thing ever. It is meant to be one of the
It's just meant to
tamer
be creepy, and that's what it
experiences.
is.
But this is so much better. Hello!
Oh, you're right up there.
Oh my god.
Oh, I like that. I love that technique of a skirt. They dropped the beer. What's that? A fiver down the drain out there? How much beer costs here?
No idea.
There we go. You smoke.
There we go.
There we go. That's the end.
There we go.
Crows of Mawkin Meadow.
Hyperia. There's a sign there that I'm sure you've all seen from like a few weeks ago as we're walking on, advertising the new UK Stores Roller Coaster 2023, obviously. It's honestly quite hilarious how outdated this video already is, because Hyperia is honestly going up at such an alarming rate, and it really is amazing to see. And before I continue, I just thought I'd apologise that I have a cold at the moment, so apologies if I sound less enthusiastic than usual. But honestly, as expected, Thorpe Park Fright Nights was an absolutely incredible event. It's a shame that obviously I didn't get to do the scare zones like the Crows and Death's Doors at night and stuff, but I still had an absolutely amazing time, and once again I'd like to thank Theme Park Daisy for gifting us the vouchers so I could do the scare mazes. Speaking of the scare mazes, obviously I said I'm really disappointed with Stitches. I'm not happy with the park on that one, to be honest, because it was completely unacceptable, the lack of actors in there, and there was just, yeah, loads of dead space in there where it was dark and wasn't a lot going on. The theming that was in there were good, but it just felt really soulless a lot of the time. Like, don't get me wrong, the creative team have done an incredible job, as I said, and it's a really unique concept, the fact you're going through this evil toy factory, and I like the whole narrative of it, but it doesn't even have a proper finale. It's just strobes and then the maze just suddenly ends. Like, you'd expect a wow moment at the end of a maze, and mazes genuinely have that, but this one just didn't. And the use of scares in there was good, but there wasn't enough of them. Like, we were meant to see like a bungee cord and stuff in there, an actor on a bungee cord, and we didn't see any of that. And from seeing how it's been in press night vlogs, it was just all really disappointing, to be honest. They either need to completely rethink that maze and make sure it's done in a way so that there can be enough scares in there at all times for it to be genuinely scary, because it wasn't scary at all, it was really tame. And it's replacing a maze in the lineup, that being Freak Freak Massacre, that was genuinely like moderately intense. Or they need to get rid of it, and I hope they do get rid of it, to be honest, because I didn't enjoy it. On a brighter note, the other two scare mazes, trailers and survival games, were both very enjoyable. I think overall the mazes were stronger and more intense last year. I can't say for survival games because I didn't do it, but from what Josh and Danielle said it was like last year, it seems like that they've made quite a few improvements this year. The Crows of Mawkin Meadow, which is obviously one of the scare zones there, was also a massive improvement on last year. That was really tame last year, but they've improved that a lot in terms of the theming and just the layout of it. The highlight of the event though was of course the Creature Campus Troubles Brewing Flash Mob show, because it just creates an incredible atmosphere around the Amity Speedway area. I particularly enjoyed our interaction with the actors, so shout out once again to Stacey from Thorpe, Clarissa from Amity, and the Witch, whoever you were as well, because we really do appreciate the interactions. Honestly, for me, it just adds so much to the experience, and it makes some entertaining vlog content as well. Obviously, it was such a pleasant surprise when that show got announced, because we never thought that Amity and Lycan were going to return after the departure of the dedicated show for them. Obviously, Amity and Lycan being the original schools that are now part of Creature Campus, but to have that brought back with the addition of Witches, I'm so thankful to the creative team behind that. I know that it was obviously brought back by some people who were very passionate about the old scare zones, so it's great to see that, and the fact that they've recognised how much love it had as well, and ultimately made the decision to do that. And yeah, it's obviously gone down really well once again. Josh doesn't think that show is going to return next year, but honestly I do think it will. I'm not sure it'll return with Amity and Lycan because they're obviously defeated by the Witches, but honestly I do think that the Witches will return, and you know, hopefully Amity and Lycan, but we'll see. But my prediction is we're going to get the Witches back in that show with potentially another school that is going to come and try and defeat them. Due to time constraints, I didn't get time to experience Death's Doors and Lucifer's Lair, which are the other scare zones at the event, but Death's Doors was here last year and I really enjoyed it. And as for Lucifer's Lair, it looks like that creates a brilliant atmosphere with roaming actors and shows and whatnot as well. But honestly, once again, I'd like to say thank you to Thorpe Park and everyone else behind Fright Nights for putting together this incredible event, and I do wish them the best of luck going forward, because honestly they're wiping the floor in terms of UK theme parks at the moment, and I really think they are just getting better and better. Overall, I would say that this year's Fright Nights event is an improvement on last year, but if you do want to go and see my vlog from last year's Fright Nights where I experienced my first ever scare maze, go on, click the video on the right side of your screen. And for more things theme park related in the UK and beyond, make sure you click the icon in the centre of your screen to subscribe.